The George Zimmerman murder trial continues today in Florida. He is charged in the shooting death of a teenager, Trayvon Martin. On Thursday, a key prosecution witness, Rachel Jantel, was back on the stand. She was on the phone with Martin just before he was killed. The defense tried to prove it was Martin, not Zimmerman, who made the confrontation about race.
You're saying that in the culture that you live in your community, people there call white people crackers.
Yes, sir.
And do they use the N-word regularly?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying so did Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin referred to white people as crackers, correct?
I don't recall, sir.
Our legal analyst, Jack Ford, is with us. Jack, good morning. Explain what the context of that was. Why were they asking that question?
Well, you know, the prosecution has urged that George Zimmerman was the instigator, that he had started this confrontation. And as a consequence, they say he can't rely on the idea of self-defense. You can't start a fight and then say, okay, I'm losing, now I'm going to pull my gun. So the prosecution said he started, and they have suggested it was as a result of racial profiling. What the defense tried to do there is sort of flip it around, to try to say that the first comment that could be interpreted as being a racial comment was when Trayvon Martin said to this young lady on the phone, "This cracker is following me." So what you're seeing is that attempt by the defense to mix things up a little bit, to say, look, it wasn't George Zimmerman that was racially profiling. In some way, shape, or form, it was actually Trayvon Martin who started that.
Can I ask you about Trayvon Martin's girlfriend here? How did she do on the stand? We know that the jury is all women.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you try to figure out how somebody performed on a witness stand. You never really know until the jurors tell you afterwards. She was an important witness here because there are no eyewitnesses.
Right.
She's, in a sense, an ear witness. Right. She's the closest thing the prosecution has to somebody who is talking to him right before this episode, literally and figuratively, explodes.
And she has some credibility questions, too, doesn't she?
She gave, for the prosecution, she gave the notion of that it wasn't Trayvon Martin that started the confrontation, it was George Zimmerman. But as with almost all witnesses, the defense tried to take some shots. They said that, you know, she had admitted to not telling the truth about some things in the past, that some of what she said on the stand in the last 2 days was different from what she said in the past. For instance, on the stand, she said that Trayvon Martin said, "Get off of me, get off of me." And yet the defense showed that she hadn't said that in a couple of other statements before. So as with many witnesses, she gave something to the prosecution, also gave a little something to the defense here.
But do you think it also just proves just how tough the prosecution
is? It's a tough case. You know, prosecutors usually have things like forensic evidence, DNA, eyewitnesses, confessions. They don't have that here in this case. And they've got a defense that's offering up a defense that jurors could accept here. So it's going to be an uphill battle. Doesn't mean they can't win it, but it's an uphill battle.
Jack Ford, thanks.